Hi, I've been asked to do a video to show you how to do clothing with weaves in them, you know, like leggings and things with weaves in them. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. You're going to need something that you want to cut up. The rules for this are that you're going to want material that's quite stretchy. So you want something that's got a bit of give to it. So like viscose leggings and that sort of thing, it works really well with. Apparently it also works well with bamboo because it's quite heavy and it's got a nice sort of drape to it. It works well with bamboo fabrics. Yeah, anything that's really quite stretchy it should work with. And also wherever you're putting the weave, make sure that there's not a seam there. So if you're doing this, for example, up the side of a top, make sure that there's not a seam running down the side of the top. Yeah, so those are the rules. So if you find yourself some clothing that you're keen to cut up and some really sharp scissors, these are going to be your friend, then you can get started. You might also want some like tailor's chalk as well. Some people like to have that there. I don't use that, I just wing it, but some people do like that. So let's just say, for argument's sake, that you're going to make a pair of leggings with a weave running up the front. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my leggings, right, and fold them so that both the legs line up. And I'm going to make sure that I know what way is the front. So this side here is the front. And I'm just going to line them up and make sure that the seams are as together as they can be, you know, that everything's lined up nicely. So what you're then going to do is work out roughly where you want your weave to start. So on this pair, what I usually do is feel for where the inside of the leg starts. So it starts about here. So I would probably go a little bit lower, maybe like a couple of inches lower than that, and start somewhere about here. Now because both legs are lined up, this means that you can do both at the same time. Obviously if you wanted to do just one leg, you would just do one leg. And your first cut should always be slightly smaller, well, saying slightly smaller, a lot smaller than the rest. And basically it's because all the tension is going to go through that first cut. So if you make it really big, when you pull your other strands through, it's going to get even bigger. So you want your first cut, I would say, to be probably only about 1 centimetre wide, maybe 2 if you wanted to, but I would probably only leave it about 1 centimetre. So I'm not actually going to cut this pair, but I'll show you what to do. So here, okay, so here we are looking down at my leggings from my perspective. So from here I'm going to go in, and my leg starts here, up where my thumb is. So I'm going to go down to about there. And I would do a cut of about 1 centimetre there. And from there on, all that I do personally is use my finger to measure 1 finger width down and then make another cut here. And then once that cut's done, move my finger down, make another cut here. And I basically just do that right the way down the whole length of the leggings or the garment that I'm doing. This is where you can get fancy. If you got tailored chalk, you can, for example, draw patterns. So with tailored chalk, what you could do is say have a central point here and draw a diamond, for example, and then have your cuts, you know, built in to make up that diamond. It's a really nice way for you to make different shapes. You can also play about with how thick your strands are. So where I'm saying I usually just use my finger, you could use 2. or you could be really precise and exactly measure out what each strand is going to be. You can really have fun with this and be as creative as you want. Okay, so once you've done that, you're going to end up with something that looks like this. You can see that I've given myself really wide cuts here, and there's my smaller cut at the top. So from here, this is where you can really have fun, right? The way that I would do just the standard weave is to go in through the top like that, grab the next strand and pull it through, and then I've got a new loop. So then I'm going to take that strand, or that loop, grab the next strand and pull that through. Grab the next one, pull it through. Grab the next one, pull it through. Grab the next one, pull it through. And you end up with something that looks like that. You can play about with this. You can just manually pull your thingies closer together. You can manually pull them further apart once they're on. You could then even start over and using this one, pull it again, and you'd end up with like a double up sort of weave going down the middle. The other thing you can do if you fancy playing about is when you go in and grab that strand, twist it, and then grab the next one, pull that through, twist it, and then grab the next one and twist it. And you can do that right the way down. And basically all that you're doing is just working your way right the way down the leg until you get to the bottom. And hopefully you'll have cut, you know, pretty accurately. So the section that's left at the bottom here should be relatively uniform to the rest of your leg. And what will happen is you will end up with your current loop and the end of your leggings or the end of your garment being held together. And then all you would do is take a strip of material, I use socks for this a lot, and cut just a really thin strand and just tie the sock or tie whatever your material is through that little bit down there. Just do a double knot. It'll hold really well, you know, even through washings and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how you do weaves. So you can totally have fun with this. As I say, anything that's quite stretchy, it works really well with. You can do it just down a sleeve is nice. You can obviously do it down the back of garments. Again, you can make shapes if you want to. So it's quite nice down on the back of like a t-shirt if you start it wide and then bring it narrow and then go wide again at the bottom. Or you can do like diamond patterns or whatever you like, really. You can be very creative. You can obviously do leggings up the sides of tops. It looks quite nice as well if you do like long gashes across like the bust, and just have a little weave in that. It's totally up to you what you want to do with it. So I hope that you have fun playing about with that, and I can't wait to see what you'll make.